The lawns of Clarkson College, now a university, where our students strolled. Will not forget that downtown campus not far from the Racket River, lit by green and gold. Raise our voices, we remember fig parties and beer blasts of yore. A new beginning each September, friendships from before. As we gathered in the fraternities before we walked to class, there's no place that we would rather remember from our past. 50 years since graduation. Nice to get up and see all my friends. The only ones we saw were Ronnie and Miriam. Where's the rest of you guys? Triangle guys. Del. Triangle doesn't look so hot. Is it still a fraternity? Does anyone know? Well, there's always next year. Can't wait too long or we won't be around. Looking at the list of departed classmates, I did not recognize any names. That's a good thing. Other guys, chemical engineering, Steve Abel comes to mind. Last I knew, Steve felt he graduated and felt he wasn't qualified to do anything. He was going to go into patent law. Did you, Steve? Of course, I felt the same way. None of us were qualified, but of course we had to learn on the job. And Tom Birrell, 4 A's and an F. You must have somehow graduated or left school, because I did a search and I found your name and you got some patents to your name. In oil industry, I think. That might be Powers. For sure, that's Hamlin House over there. Hamlin House has a new roof, and I think another story on top. Is that a 4th story? That's what the guy said. Holcroft House. They just gave me a map. Brooks. Let's see what Brooks looks like from the other side. Did we used to go in the end? Let's try it. I don't remember my room. Probably locked. Yes, it's locked, but there it is in all its glory. I think we're on the left.
The single reason that Clarkson has been able to advance is all on the backs of our alumni. It is your success in the world that allows me to open doors to get the resources to support the institution in the way that we're doing it. We're doing it to make a great institution that the graduates of which this nation craves.
Definitely 29, look up there. Tau Delta Kappa. Huh. I knocked on the door, no answer. Look around this way maybe. Here we are, Tau Delta Kappa. Look around the back. Used to be a garage here. Didn't look so good. Shed over there, that's new. That's probably, oh wow, look at big extension, party room, what I heard. But there is chemical engineering, I think the one in the back. Here's Old Main. Looks like it's in terrific shape. They must be using it for something. Snell Hall over here seems like it's seen better days. There's a window, no glass, rusted. Let me see what the front of it looks like. Coming around here, Snell Hall. Last time I was here, there was weeds growing out of the stairs, and the grass looks nice. The grounds is nice. Rusted, of course. Let me see if it's open. What's inside? It looks like it's being used for something. Oh, it is open. Ooh, looky here. Stairways, hallways. Post office. I don't remember it, but it's probably been here for a century. 13676, yes, that hasn't changed. The Arlington Hotels, now Usherwood Office Technologies. The T&R room, or just the R, is kaput. Racket River. Looks like a new bridge since 50 years. Of course, the street used to go down that way to the bus station. Clarkson Inn, that is new. You can just see Zeta Nu down there. Academic retrospective. Going back to freshman year, 1963, first thing I remember was Myron Moko's class on drawing, drafting, design. We went down into the basement of the ME department, probably Old Main, where there was water flowing out of a weir, and we were to calibrate the weir, height of weir versus flow rate. We used a bucket and a stopwatch, various levels of against the weir, and measured the water going into the bucket with the stopwatch, calculated the flow, and we plotted this on either semi-log or log paper. Now this was an excellent exercise, not so much to find out the characteristics of a weir, but how to solve a problem, how to analyze a problem. Go out, take the data, use the simplest available tools, like a bucket or whatever is available, and take the data, and then back in the office you analyze it. Of course, today you wouldn't use semi-log or log paper. You'd use your plotting in Excel. And the other comment on the drawing classes, today I think any engineer should be proficient in AutoCAD when they graduate. Other courses I remember, statics and dynamics, that was all good stuff. I-beam, and we calculated stress and strain along the beam. Elastic limit, that's all good stuff for anyone, I think. There was calculus involved. Calculus and then differential equations, numerical methods of solving differential equations. Of course, that got into programming. We programmed in Fortran. I think the particular version of Fortran was called Forgo. You used punch cards. What a pain in the ass that was. Today, of course, I think they program in Pascal or C or Visual Basic, or even there's newer ones. We learned Laplace transforms. Now, I'll be darned if there's anything more or less useful than Laplace transforms. I immediately forgot it. Although it was on the PE exam, I saw that Laplace transforms were on the exam, so I relearned them. Passed the exam and completely forgot them again. When it comes to solving differential equations, you would always use numerical methods. You never use that Laplace. Differential equations, I did use those now and then, but not very often. As a chemical engineer, organic chemistry, P-Chem, are basic unit operations. And we had a great course called Chemical Engineering Calculations, very useful. Had a course called Properties of Materials. I found it boring in the beginning, started cutting classes. Then I got sick and missed more classes, and so I really don't know what went on there. I was surprised I passed the darn thing. But I think engineers should learn something of corrosion when they get out of school. Steel, stainless steel, Hastelloys, tantalum, glass line, Teflon, should have some inkling of that. Had a course in thermodynamics by T.J. Ward. He took a statistical approach. I didn't learn a darn thing. So that remained a big hole in my career, not knowing thermodynamics. On the other hand, T.J. Ward had a course in process controls, which was very good, and became the basis of my career as a control system engineer, or at least the first 15 years of my career. Electrical, I think, was lacking. Let me say, it's really sad when you find an engineer, otherwise competent, who can't read a electrical drawing. So, they should be able to identify or see how a motor control circuit works for a three-phase motor. You know, the overloads, the fuses, the control circuit. This, of course, leads into ladder logic. Any engineer coming out of school should understand ladder logic. And that leads into PLCs. They should have some inkling or introduction to PLCs, programmable logic controllers. They should also know know that the National Electrical Code exists, where you can find wire sizes, conduit sizes, color codes for the wiring, hot, neutral, ground. They should know what that is. They should know hazardous areas. If I say Class 1, Group D, Division 2, they should kind of recognize that and know where to find what it means in the National Electrical Code. They should know what explosion-proof means, non-incentive circuits, and intrinsic safety. We didn't learn any of that back then, and I think it'd be very useful. As Steve Abel said, when we got out of school, we graduated, we were really not qualified to do anything. Well, that's true, but it's not true also. We were qualified to keep learning, which is all you could really expect. All in all, I have to say, Clarkson, Potsdam experience, it was a great place to go to school, both inside and outside the classroom. Now on YouTube, if you do a search for Clarkson, you'll see a lot of videos on the current Clarkson, the campus on the hill, very nice. Really, I envy the students today going to Clarkson. I wish I could do it again myself. It's a wonderful place.